to put the nation on notice that violence perpetuated against women through the music industry in the forms of gangster rap and misogynist lyrics will not be tolerated any longer. Principle must come before profit.
Me personally and my generation, we owe this woman an apology. And see, Dolores Tucker was right about hip hop, and we should have listened. If you're here, thank you for being here. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, turn on that notification bell, helps with the algo. Comment on this video. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. But if anybody knows C. Delores Tucker, Pennsylvania, Philly legend, activist, she fought very, very hard. She passed away about 20 years ago. And she was infamous in the 90s for her fight against gangster rap, negative, destructive rap lyrics. And she took it to the White House. She did everything she possibly. I remember back, and I was a teenager when this was happening. And I remember like her, a whole group of them like stepping on CDs, like crushing the CDs of negative rap and gangster rap. And I remember being a youngster and I loved hip hop. I loved Death Row at the time. I loved Bad Boy at the time. I was a super duper Tupac fan. God bless the dead with Tupac. And I remember like, man, this lady, and I remember listening to I Wonder Why They Call You B by Tupac. And I remember some of Tupac's lyrics aimed at C. Delores Tucker. And I remember a lot of people pushing back at C. Delores Tucker as she was anti-rap and she was just trying to stop everybody from having fun. And when you're younger, if you have the opportunity, Tupac never got the opportunity, dying at 25, to get older like I have, even though Tupac was a lot older than I was. But he didn't get an opportunity to live and see what hip hop became. And now, as we see it now, and he didn't get an opportunity to see that where he could get older and start to mature and realize what C. Delores Tucker was trying to do. And I don't think she was anti-rap. She was just anti-chaos and destruction that's in rap. What we see, what it's become, and how these labels have been able to make billions and billions of dollars off the destruction of the culture. Everybody want to talk about the culture. What's the culture? The culture. The culture that we have is a commercial, destructive culture. It's not the actual culture that represent us as a people. That's what I'm saying. If you don't get that, then we don't need to talk, okay? But she was trying to prevent that. There was a lot of ministers, there was a lot of older elder statespeople in our community trying to prevent, because they was hearing women being called out of their name. They were hearing talking about people getting shot, and they were really good lyrics. And it was, I know it's social commentary, and I get it. And a lot of that was just legendary music. But as I look back and see the outcome and the destructive element that's in the community, I see that Dolores Tucker, she was absolutely right, and we should have listened. And now we're the outcome of it is not good, and it's not good for the younger people. And I think about it because a lot of people don't know that people did try to fight back. And I remember Common, and I remember this, you know, if you get old enough to remember stuff, you just remember it. Everything ain't based off what you Google. You could just remember it. And I remember Common doing I Used to Love Her. And I remember Common kind of talking about the boys in the hood, and he was talking about hip hop. It was a metaphor, of course. And I don't think Common meant this, but I remember the backlash he got from Ice Cube and even a couple cats from the West Coast about, you know, like he was dissing the West Coast, excuse me, being destructive. the destructive music coming out of the West Coast at the time. And I remember that. I think about that and I remember that. And I don't think that was common intended, but at the time, it was like if anybody kind of spoke out and said, hey, this is going too far, they got a lot of flack. And a lot of times the bigger artist was benefiting from it. And it was tough. So I saw, excuse me, got a little bit of a cold. I saw the hurt and the pain from the elders looking at us, our generation, call women the B word, call each other the N word, talk about shooting and killing each other and selling drugs. They were just disgusted because if you look back at their music, it was love and, you know, fun and soul and dancing. So they just couldn't imagine that. And see, Dolores Tucker was very intelligent because they took the fight to the labels. And some of the things that was said about her by Tupac and others, she even filed a defamation against the labels about her name being put in her music because the lady was just fighting a good fight. And she saw the outcome. She didn't see the full outcome that we see now with these clowns and this stuff we have now. But we should have listened. And she was 100% right about what was happening. And I know a lot of people don't want to say this, but a lot of the older guys, they made millions in rap. And they look back and they say, man, we played a part. And every coast, every region played a part in this, what we have today. So it's easy to blame Sexy Red. It's easy to blame Lil Baby or NBA Youngboy. It's easy to blame them, but it's always going to be 10 of them lined up. How did we get here? And you get here through by looking at history. So see, Dolores Tucker just like one of the bigger voices that was trying to stop this and bring attention to this. And unfortunately, our community didn't listen, along with a lot of our community not listening to a lot of things that was happening in the community in the 90s. And a lot of people that was trying to stop that on the street also. And that ties in. So now that the destruction is here and it happened and the aftermath of it, we got to look back and we got to adjust and say, okay, who's going to be the people in this era that's going to speak truth to power and say, hey, look, this has gotten out of hand. Regardless of how many people don't like it, you still stand on your square. That's how I feel about it. So RIP to C. Dolores Tucker, RIP to Tupac Shakur, RIP to a lot of people that's no longer here. I'm not here to never smear the dead, but the truth is the truth, and that sister was on it. So respecting, she deserved her flowers.